Yeah, they got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will be covering the World Series, the Yankees and the Dodgers, and also Tuesday as we record, opening night in the NBA, Knicks at the Celtics.
Man, that offseason kind of flew by. I feel like they just had the finals with the Celtics and what was the other team that was in the final?
The Mavericks.
Yeah, the Mavericks.
You know why I think football kicks all these other sports' asses?
How come?
NASCAR, their offseason is like a month and a half. Legit, like it ain't shit. The NBA, they ended in June?
Yeah, June.
July, August, September. Here it is October, 4 months later. We're already back to the NBA season. Baseball, 162 games. Hockey, 162 games. NFL, 17 games. 5 weeks of the playoffs. The NBA playoffs and the baseball playoffs go on forever. So does hockey. The NFL, they're fucking the poster child for get on, get off, get out. And they leave you wanting for more. You sitting there sweating still. She done already got her clothes on and called the Uber. You sitting there like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang with the fucking with the covers pulled up. And the NFL's like, peace. And you're like, damn, I want some more of that. MLB, NHL, NBA, they don't give you time to miss them.
Yeah, I get it. But, various reasons why NFL is super physical. You can't have that go as long as it does. And, NBA game, you can reload faster. But, I mean, I get what you're saying because I remember that shortened NBA season, how, exciting it was. I think it was back in like 2011 or so where they started at Christmas and whatnot.
Yeah.
And but I mean, you kind of need those sports to kind of keep the cycle going around when dead part of the year. So, it's pros and cons.
Feel you though.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for those sports, then we'd just be doing nothing, just sitting on our hands.
I mean, you could take a little off season. You got pro wrestling. Pro wrestling 52 weeks a year.
Not everybody's wrestling fans, Rucker.
They should be.
Yeah.
We're going to tell them why. My Knicks open the season today at the NBA champion Boston Celtics. Karl Anthony Towns make his debut tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to, do what he does during the regular season, but I think we talked about this when he got traded. He's a little bit soft for me, but,
He'll
still
be better than Julius Randle.
Julius Randle's still on the team?
No, he's a part of the trade. Him and DiVincenzo. I didn't like the DiVincenzo addition to it because, honestly, the Knicks ain't really got any fucking three-point shooting. Like, DiVincenzo was really the only one, him and Brunson. Everybody else,
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see the Knicks, how they do this season. League's always better when the Knicks are doing well, kind of like Cowboys, Yankees, like one of those.
Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers. Dodgers.
You know what I would have loved the Knicks to have done? I know this ain't the Knicks podcast, but if they were going to trade, they probably didn't know. But during free agency, if they thought, oh, we're going to get rid of Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, I would have loved for them to throw some money at Klay Thompson.
Didn't he just go to the Mavericks, or is this his second season with the Mavericks?
No, he went free agency this year.
I mean, yeah, He's he's not the Clay of old, but he's still gonna get you some threes on the board, put up like
Right.
15, 17 points a game.
All
You
I'm
know,
asking for is when they start tripling Brunson and he kicks it out to you for you to be able to knock the shot down. The Knicks couldn't get anybody to do that last year, and that's why they got ran off the fucking court by Indiana in Game 7.
shit. Yeah, best 3-point shooter may be Karl Anthony Towns. He claimed to be the best uh, big that could shoot the three ever. So
Hey, if he can do it, I'm with it.
yeah. Also
I'm
tonight,
just excited we don't have Julius Randle anymore.
yeah, he's not a bad player. He was injured a lot, and Cat is an upgrade, like you said. But I think Julius Randle had that toughness, though.
I'll give him this. When nobody else wanted to go to New York, he did go to New York, and he was like a legit second tier superstar that actually went to the Knicks, and he kind of started the transition of them being good. But he was just never good enough. I in the playoffs he let me down all the time. And in the playoffs it ain't like the NFL where like say Dak a couple years ago, he throws 5 touchdowns against Tampa Bay, and then the very next week he doesn't play well against San Francisco, and that's all everybody remembers. In the NBA, you got so many games to make an impact, and he just never did.
What do you mean by make an impact, though? He had his numbers.
Make an impact positively. You can put up all the numbers in the world, but do they matter? Stats can be manipulated however you want them to. But in crunch time, he was just never the guy. He was never that guy. He was never that guy when the big games are around.
Hey, I don't I don't know how much stock you have invested in Cat, but like the numbers and the results show that he was just a stat stuffer in Minnesota before before you got the kid from Georgia went in there, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for Cat to be the guy. That's what Brunson's for.
I don't know. I like Brunson. He's still a little guard, so when the rubber needs to meet the road, we'll see what happens.
I mean,
It's gonna have to be
damn near
Brunson.
got them to the damn near got them to the championship series by himself last year.
Yeah. We'll
All he
see.
needed was a little help.
We'll see. Celtics gonna be tough to get out. They just now entering like their overall prime. As far as you got that young core of Brown and Jason Tatum and whatnot. So NBA, man, a lot of parity. And,
Another
and
real quick sports topic, man. I'm loving college football this season. Like, I thought 12 teams in the playoffs would be too much, but the way this shit's shaking out with this is what the second or third year with the NIL stuff where people are going wherever they want to. Talk about parity. Like, this shit is crazy. If I'm a college football team, I don't want to be number one because I'm just gonna get my ass kicked.
I mean, of course, you loving it because the Bulldogs stomped on the Longhorns this past weekend.
That's not the only reason why. Like, I love the fact that Alabama beat. I don't love the Alabama beat Georgia, but they've lost 2 out of 3 since they beat Georgia. Fucking Ohio State got stomped by Oregon. Oregon's number one now. Who else in the top tier lost?
Ohio State lost early in the season to Oregon.
I thought that was like the last couple of weeks.
No, it wasn't last weekend. It was like 2 or 3 weekends ago.
Yeah. South Carolina won this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't even want to get into them. If they had Spencer Rattler, it'd probably be a different season because the defense is like playing like all time great. But the offense,
They may have lost the game, but I thought they were beating like a really good team in the past couple of weeks when I was.
They're beating Alabama and beating LSU until like the last couple minutes. So,
but yeah, I don't know. I just think 12 teams. That's 4 rounds of football, man. Like, you might think, oh, it's gonna come down to Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, and Oregon. You never fucking know, man. Indiana might be in there. Like, this shit is so fun to watch right now.
I mean,
And one good thing about college football. You can sit down and watch a college football like top 25 game and not have a dog in the race and be entertained.
Yeah, for sure. I think 12 was a little bit too much. I think 8 would have been perfect because that you got 12. Now you had to do those stupid home games in the playoff. 8 would have been perfect. You would have had the 4 bowl games to be the semifinals, and then the next 2 tier to be the quarterfinals, and then the next 2 tier to be semifinals. They had 6 bowls set up perfectly for it, and then national championship game. I
I
mean,
mean, you got to get your 7 fucking SEC teams in there, though.
it's a money grab, and I think it waters it down. Like you said, it'll be fun once it starts, but it sucks for your team that's got to go through 4 rounds of playoffs just to get to the national championship, and then you got 4 teams with the buys, but then they're talking about going to 14, and then only 2 teams get buys, which is even more ridiculous. So, yeah, I think they
I
should
don't know,
keep it
man.
at 12.
If you're in the playoffs, just fucking go win.
Yeah. Also, before we start talking about college football, I was going to say also father son duo debuting tonight.
Yeah, and LeBron and his kid, and then you got Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. that are going to be in the house because they were the last father son duo to take the field or the court together. So that'll be a cool little moment.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird. I mean, did they do this all just to say they did it? And is the kid good enough to play pro? I hope he's good enough to play pro. I mean, he had a flash, but it's preseason where he had put up 17 in the game. But other than that, But they're saying like he's basically supposed to be like a defensive player first. But yeah, you like to actually, see him do well. I hope it's just not for that, and then they just send him down to G League.
Boy, gonna have all kind of pressure on him. It's bad enough you're LeBron's son, and now everybody feels like LeBron kind of bigfooted his way through to get you drafted. He's gonna have to prove it now. Now, if he doesn't, he's still rich as shit. Like his dad's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's gonna have millions of dollars now. Like if he does fail, wow, you're gonna have memes made about you, but you're set for life. So actually, you have no fucking pressure. Like who cares?
It's still a little bit. You still want to live up to your own expectations, but yeah, I get it. He's gonna be rich regardless. Just like Jordan's sons, they all rich from working for him. Jordan Brand and whatnot, and they never made it to the league. But
Banging Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
that too. But yeah, you still want to see kid do good. So it's to shut people. You just got negative people out there just want to make memes, like you said, and see him do bad. So want to see the kid do decent.
Yeah. You ready to get to some pro wrestling, EJ?
Yeah, man.
Let's start off with some news that
What you
took
got?
place Monday, right before Monday Night Raw. Samantha Irvin announced that she is leaving WWE, and out of nowhere, they bring back Lilian Garcia, dusting her off to bring her back out.
Who came out hot, called it a containers match. But everybody's a little rusty when they first come back.
Contenders, English is not her first language.
I didn't know that.
She speaks Spanish.
I didn't know that was her first language though. But yeah,
I could be making that up, but I know she's bilingual.
there you go.
Yeah. But Lilian's got a really good announcing voice also. And honestly, I shouldn't say I'm glad Samantha's stepping away. I'm glad just for these fucking assholes online that like you can never have too much of a good thing, right? Like months ago, everybody's like Samantha Irvin's the greatest. She's so good at announcing, and now all of a sudden it goes from that to, oh, she's just making it about herself, and she's so fake, and what is all this? Look at me, this and that, and anytime she takes a picture with somebody, they're tagging Ricochet in it. Like, yeah, you went to AEW, now your woman's getting tag teamed in WWE, and it's like, where do these motherfuckers draw the line at?
Yeah, but I haven't seen like little slithers of that here and there, but not like an overwhelming amount. Most of the stuff that's been out there have been mostly positive about her, but that's what you get once you start getting popular. You're gonna have the trolls coming out, and that's the internet age we live in nowadays.
I mean, you're not on Twitter as much as I am. That's
I'm
probably
not.
why you don't see it as much. But usually it's a 50-50 chance if I see a picture of her, it's a 50-50 chance that somebody talking shit about her.
Mm. But also, how many people are probably saying good stuff on the same picture though?
You know, what I'm saying is for somebody that was so universally beloved, all of a sudden for everybody to just come out and start talking shit about, I don't know. I'd imagine that wears on people. Like she's not a she's an on-air talent, but she's not a wrestler, right? She's just there to ring announce. She put her own flavor on it, just like it's like motherfuckers being mad. And then like we had Twitter in the '90s. Could you imagine motherfuckers being mad at Michael Buffer? Let's get ready to rumble. Here go this nigga again, making shit about himself. Ain't nobody rumbling, motherfucker. We wrestling or boxing.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have. Like you said, everybody wants to put their 2 cents in just to be different. It's just the way of the world. But yeah, I think a lot of the stuff flack she was getting was a little bit after Ricochet left too. For some reason that added to it because people are weird and tribalistic. And since the announcement yesterday, I've been like, peeking in online. A lot of people are like, oh, she wasn't even that good to begin with. Wasn't you just cheering how good she was last month? Now she left the company you like. Now you're saying she wasn't that good. Get out of here. Actually, fuck out of here.
How you feel about them replacing her with Lilian?
I mean, that was the safe move to dip back into the nostalgia pot. And a lot of people grew up with Lilian. Because I've seen people right there. I'm like, how young are you? I don't remember growing up with Lilian like that. But then I look back, I'm like, yeah, I was super young when she first got there. I was like 12 when she came there in 2000. So I guess for some reason, I don't know. For
She
some
was there
reason,
before that.
I was looking. I did a quick research. I saw that she was in there in 2000. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at the
I
wrong
mean, I
thing.
can remember a certain interview where The Rock was like, "What are you looking at, Lilian? Do you get wet with perspiration when you look
Well,
at The Rock?"
well,
And that was in the '90s.
you sure that might have been 2000? But
It could have
either
been,
way,
but The Rock was back sparingly, in the 2000s. Like,
2002 is when he went part time during
yeah, you might be right.
Scorpion King. But I don't know. What I'm saying is, I guess she was more part of my childhood than I thought. But for some reason, I associate Fink like with a lot of the early memories. But yeah, like I said, it dipping into the nostalgia pool. A lot of people grew up with her as the announcer, so it was the safe pick. And yeah, there are reports of why Samantha left, and you never know unless you hear from her. But most are saying that she wanted to pursue the music and whatnot. But do you think it might be some other reasons that we don't know about yet?
I think for again, like she's an on-air talent, but she's not an on-air talent. I think for her, it's smart. Strike while the iron's hot. Like you're as over right now as you're probably ever gonna get in wrestling, whether, excuse me, negative or positively. So while you have all these eyes on you, people are probably sending you offers to do stuff musically, voiceovers. She can play the fucking flute. I think I saw her one time. Like she's got talent in other areas that she could do. So shit, why not? At the end of the day, you leave on good terms with WWE, you can always come back.
True. And I know this is low hanging fruit, but it's always gonna be chatter. What if
Don't even do.
Tony? What if Tony
Don't even
Khan?
do it. Don't
What if
do it.
what if Tony
Don't do
Khan throw
that,
you a
EJ.
bag and you
She's
wanna?
not leaving WWE to go to Tony Khan.
If he's saying I'm doubling your salary with this new
They already
TV
got
money,
announcers over there. They got Justin Roberts.
that's what I'm. I mean, who's on Collision? They got rid of Drea Day.
Arcady, I don't know if you remember this, but she was standing on the entrance ramp when we were at Revolution. Everybody's like, "Who the fuck is that?" And that was her. They replaced Dasha with her. She just got there. You're gonna get rid of her already?
Of course, if you got the viral sensation.
Yeah, but Arkady's doing all right. She's good. She's just as good on Instagram and Twitter as Samantha was.
All I'm saying was Samantha doing house shows too?
I'm sure she was.
I'm saying
Although WWE's cutting back on their house shows.
yeah, but it's still gonna do them. All I'm saying is if they're gonna drop a bag on me to make my salary more and I can still pursue my music stuff because I only gotta be there once a week and my husband or boyfriend or fiance is there, who wouldn't take the bag?
That Ricochet's like, God damn, I love this woman, but fuck, give me some space.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure if that is an option, it wouldn't happen till a year or so now. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever she wants to do. Like, I liked her. I thought she was a good personality on and off screen. Um, her Instagram posts were legendary.
Go check it out if you haven't for the listeners. But yeah, man, I mean, it just seems interesting that they left so close together. Maybe this was the plan all along. They had it mapped out.
Also, news: Motor City Machine Guns debut on SmackDown this week. This moved the needle any for you, EJ?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it was the worst kept secret. They even announced them debuting before they even debuted. Nothing is surprising nowadays. But yeah, I mean, WWE needs a boost in the tag team division. All promotions right now need a boost, and you know they'll do nothing but bolster your tag team division. So I like it. I mean, my it's not my home city, but I've lived in Columbia a few stints in my life, and that crowd was dead. Like, what are y'all doing, South Carolina? Y'all supposed to be representing out there. Like, it barely gave them any type of pop when they came out. You
They
heard
didn't
a
know who they
couple
were.
exactly. Like, how do you not know the Motor City Machine Guns? And they were chanting. You had a few sprinkles of Motor City chants that were, kind of faint that you heard throughout the match. But come on, Columbia, y'all gotta do better than that. But yeah, I like the move. Got it went out of the gate as they should have. I wish they would have got their old music. That would have been dope. They gave Cody his own music. But
Yeah, Cody's music is original though.
what is the Motor City Machine Gun? Motor City.
Them motherfuckers ain't big as Cody. Like,
Hey,
we're
hold
not
up.
coming if we can't get our own music. And Triple H was like,
Hold up, you changing the argument. At first you said it wasn't original music. Now you say they're as big as Cody.
I don't know if it was original or not. I'm just saying, like, you can't compare them to Cody.
I guess not. I mean, CM Punk, but he had the music in WWE beforehand. Yeah, I guess Cody and CM Punk are the only people that really got to keep music like that. I guess you have a point. But yeah, I'm down with the move.
It doesn't do anything for me. I was never a big fan of them.
I like Saban better than Shelly, but as a team, I think they're good. I mean, I like them better as a team than solo act or singles wrestler.
Saban was a world champion, wasn't he? TNA?
Both of them were.
Did they both? Oh, Shelley won recently, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, Saban won back in the day when I want to think he took it from Bully.
Yeah, I think he did. Mhm.
But yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. Honestly, it's 10 years too late. Like, they should have capitalized on this years ago. But then again, WWE wasn't in a place to where I would want to go 10 years ago if I was a tag team act.
I've been saying care about them. Yeah, it would have probably got a bigger reaction 10 years ago. But hey, better late than never is what they say, right?
Other news, the BCC, or as Tony Schiavone called them, Moxley's crew. What do you think the goal is here? They haven't revealed why they put the world title in a little black bag. Um, Honestly, speculation is that somebody's calling the shots behind the scenes. Shane McMahon is what everybody's saying. What do you think the deal is with the BCC? Because I don't have a read on it, and I honestly kind of like it.
Yeah, I really don't know what's gonna happen. It's very cryptic. It's a good thing, but you know, you wanna you wanna do total line where you're making progress each week. I don't mind them playing the long game. Like I don't need to know even this week. But if you drag it along too much, you end up being the devil story. So I like you said, I like how they have mystery behind it, but you gotta keep the ball rolling and keep people wanting to come in. Because if you keep doing the same cryptic shit every week and just beating up people be like, all right, we tired of this shit and get along with the story. But I'm with you. Like I'm hoping it's somebody pulling the strings because it just ends up being Moxley and nothing else. Then I'm gonna be disappointed. It doesn't even have to be Shane, but it has to be somebody.
Look at this Roman Reigns shit.
Nice. It just appeared out of thin air.
For
Magic.
y'all watching, y'all see that on YouTube.
Magic. But yeah, like I said, it better be somebody pulling the strings. It doesn't have to be Shane. It just has to be somebody. And not Tony Khan either. I don't want it to be Tony Khan. He's
I
terrible,
wouldn't
honestly.
mind if it was Tony Khan.
Really, with his terrible chops of acting.
He didn't have to do anything. Just yeah, I paid them to do it. I'm sick of all these people coming to my company leeching off of me, saying that this is, a vacation, and you can come here and not do anything. He can start naming motherfuckers. CM Punk, Miro, Brian Danielson, all y'all come over here thinking you just collecting a check. This is where the best wrestle. If you don't want to wrestle, we coming for you.
Well, if he does that, then that would pique my interest. But then if you do that, then it's all convoluted with the elite and whatnot. I don't know what you do with the elite at this point.
They're the mains one too. They would automatically be who the BCC is targeting because these motherfuckers don't ever want to wrestle.
Good. Just violent heels versus jackass heels. Just have them
I ain't
destroy
mad
each
at it.
other.
I'm glad you brought that up. I like the touch of, was it wasn't Garcia. Who was it? Was it Private Party that was telling them like, y'all need to fucking step up and do something?
I think so,
And
yeah.
they were kind of like on the entrance ramp, like, should we? Should we not? And they kind of backed away, like, well, they haven't whooped our ass yet, so we're just gonna leave this shit alone. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's interesting to me. Like, we always talk about storylines in AEW. They're literally giving us a storyline now, and people don't have the patience to let it play out. I'm with it. Like, even even if it's predictable at the end, just give me something on the give me something on the road to where we're going.
Yeah. And I like Private Party in that spot, but for some reason, Dark Order being in that spot just irks me. I don't know. Like they could have got somebody else besides Dark Order, and that would have made me more excited about this.
Did you see the when they jumped in the pickup truck
Yeah,
and
John
John
Silver.
Silver went running after him?
Yeah,
I don't think that was supposed to be as funny as it was.
it
I fucking
wasn't
laughed out loud when I saw it. Like, what the fuck is it? What's gonna happen if they stop the truck?
exactly.
And they're like, okay, you got us. Now what, motherfucker? It's us against you. Like, what were you doing?
I don't. Yeah, poor Dark Order. I mean, of course, the group hasn't been the same since Brody. I don't like them in that spot. Could have been somebody else, but like I said, I like Private Party in that spot, and I'm intrigued to see what happens next with it.
The worst piece of news, personally, for me, Bron Breakker defeats Jey Uso to become a two-time Intercontinental Champion with the help of the Bloodline.
I mean, I saw that this was going to be a shorter reign, and the night of yesterday, as soon as they showed that clip, they showed that they did the flashback back to SmackDown. I'm like, all right, Bloodline going to interfere in this match. I got it time stamped as well in the chat I was in. So I mean, it played out like I thought it was going to play out. You know, on the bigger and better things for Jay back in the
I don't
Bloodline
think so.
storyline, and
I
then
don't think
World
so.
Championship. Why not?
That's where we disagree, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you're right. But I don't want Jey back involved in the Bloodline storyline.
Well, that's where
This
that's where.
guy, I I know EJ. I know that's where it's going. Like I knew he was gonna lose the title too. It doesn't mean I can't not be a fan and still like cheer for it to not happen, right? But you've got the hottest babyface on Monday Night Raw in Jey Uso. Good wrestler, good on the mic when he wants to be. Um, Crowd reaction is ridiculous, super over, sells merch. I understand this bloodline thing is a thing, and he's gonna have to go back to it. But I hope it's just not a paint by numbers like fall in line type thing, and now he's just standing behind Roman again. And this is where I think what you said a couple months ago was that he shouldn't have been Intercontinental Champion. He should have been a World Champion. Because if he comes back as a World Champion, tell Roman, man, fuck you. I've been a World Champion more recently than you have. Like, I'm standing up here. You give me the fucking microphone. Now I know all that's not gonna happen, but I hope they put the same amount of thought into this bloodline story as they did to begin with, because I always thought he was the more interesting character. But at the end of it, and I hate this for your boy Jimmy, but I don't want to see him go back to the Usos tag team.
See that I don't know if that's gonna happen for sure. It's gonna eventually happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen this year. Them actually being a tag team. By the way, like Roman's demeanor, I think it's gonna be more so of like they're his equals more so than he's the tribal chief, quote unquote, and the head of the table. Just by the way, he's been talking. He said, "I'm proud of you" the other day to Jey. So I think they're gonna be standing alongside him during this little stretch instead of behind him. And then I don't even know if like they'll do the Usos right away. This might be like almost like a one-off for Jey right now.
Yeah. Niggas get real humble when they ain't got the Ula Fala.
Exactly. So
As soon as he gets that shit back, what you doing standing up here? You better get your ass back there with the wise man. They're gonna
yeah,
be like, wait a minute, oops, all the help we done gave you again. Like,
exactly.
yeah, it's how it's always been.
Stomp them out. But yeah, what I'm curious, I kind of hate fantasy booking. Are they gonna do the easy route and just bring Sammy back in? I don't want to take credit for this idea. I can't remember where I heard it at. Maybe Busted Open or somewhere. But what if they exiled Solo out the new bloodline and had Rock be the leader of it, and then have Solo on the other side? You could hire Rock in a War Games match because you could have him come out last. They barely interact with the cage anyway. Then they have Hogan in one. Hogan was old as shit and when they did it, and Flair and all those guys.
You know, I'm just sitting here thinking about this as you're talking, and I could be wrong. I'd have to research this, but if I am wrong, then and you're listening, let me know. I'm pretty sure that the only one The Rock is not actually related to in the new bloodline is Solo.
Oh, I don't. I think it might be the other way around. I think
No,
the Rock isn't
he's not.
related.
He's not related to the Usos and Roman like by blood. They're related by like, how when you were little,
And
yeah, that's my cousin.
and
That's
that's what
that's kind of shit.
and that's what I'm saying. I think Solo is related to all of those guys in the blood. I'm like Rock's related to none of them by blood.
Ooh, Solo is not. Solo's the Usos brother. He's not related to Tama Tonga and
maybe
Tonga
not.
Lola.
Maybe not those two because those are Ming's kids. But Jacob Fatu is related to those guys. Jacob Fatu is related to those guys. I don't know about Ming's kids.
Who's Jacob Fatu's dad?
That I'd have to look up.
I think
But
The Rock is related to the three of them, and he's not related to Solo.
I don't know because uh, Tongaloa is Ming's blood son,
Right.
and Tama Tonga is his adopted son, but it's his actual nephew. with Jacob Fatu, I can't remember who his dad is, but I want to say Jacob Fatu is related to the Usos and all of those. But yeah, it's
I
all
mean, regardless, like I doubt they would bring all that to TV because they all just say they're one big family.
yeah.
But if they were to kick Solo out, where does that leave Solo?
That's what I'm saying. He could go back to the other side, 4-4 war game.
You can't do that. He done stirred up all this shit. Now they just gonna welcome him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jacob is related to this guy. Rikishi's his uncle.
Okay.
But like you said, Ming and those guys. I mean the God. I don't think they are blood related.
Gorillas of Dwayne.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, why can't no go back to where you were saying? Why can't Solo go back to the other side?
He's the one doing all this shit. And now
Yeah.
they're gonna kick him out, and Roman and them are supposed to just be like,
Shit.
all right, come on back, little brother.
Roman did some dastardly shit too during his 4-year reign.
And he's gotta atone for he's gotta apologize. He's gotta I know Jimmy came back already, so he was already with him. But Jey ain't trying to hear that shit. Like Jay's like, nigga, you put me through some shit the past 4 years. Like when Jimmy was hurt, like all the stuff you did to me, turning my brother against me. Like Roman needs to literally be like, I'm sorry. If he don't, if I'm Jey Uso, man, I gotta go back after Bron Breakker. I ain't got time for this shit. But you know where Jey fucked up? Dumbass babyface carried his ass over SmackDown talking shit to the Bloodline before a title match. Why would you do that?
Hey, you saw what happened.
Right. Talking
He
about you keep looking at me like that,
I'ma
I'm gonna
knock
knock
you
your ass out. To Jacob Fatu. Fatu was like, oh yeah?
He was talking real spicy. I'm like, you don't really hear wrestlers talking about knocking people out. He's like, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm like, all right, talking spicy. You got a defense on Monday, you know.
That might have been some ad lib shit right there. He saw Jacob looking at him. Who is this motherfucker looking at?
Yeah, man, that was not smart at all.
You know, I am excited though about as much as I love how over he is with the Yeet entrance. I hope he gets away from the Yeet, like leaning on it too heavily. Like I hope he gets back into his because Jay's character work is why I started liking him so much. Like why he separated himself to me in the Bloodline. Like his character work, his facial expressions, all that shit is why I was like, this motherfucker is a star. And then they started building stuff around him. Now he's just yeet, 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 yeet. Like that's cool on the intro, but I don't really want to hear that shit when you're on the microphone. Unless of course, they replace the what chant with the yeet chant. Then I'm with it.
That's what they have for him. I mean, not overall. When they still want to get under people's skin, they still do the what chant. He's been relying on this for the past 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't like that. I've said it for the past couple months. I don't like it.
well, is it what he is right now? And I've been not liking him leaning into that. But what are you gonna do? It's making money. I don't like it. And that's why I was, praising Jimmy the other day for his promo. Like you said, it was probably his best promo. I want to see if he can keep it up.
I mean, it's cool and all, but the crowd don't like Jimmy like they like Jay.
I mean, because he doesn't have a catchphrase to lean on.
Okay, E.J., let's not do that. Let's not act like Jay wasn't the more popular one while they were in the Bloodline.
He was, but like I said before, he got that head start while Jimmy was injured, and then he found a way. Like shout out to him. Shout out to him for finding his niche though, because like you say, he was over before all of the yeet stuff, but now that's what people like doing, and they like doing the hands up in the air.
I mean, they were doing that before the yeet stuff though. Like if you go back to that entrance at SummerSlam where he wrestled Roman, like that was the first time during his entrance I was like, holy shit, this fucking guy. That yeet stuff got added way after that.
I can't remember. You might be right. I can't remember like the exact timelines. But who knows? Like the history. What if it was Jimmy that was not injured and Jey that was injured? Who knows? It might be Jimmy the Yeet Master.
Nah, it wouldn't be the same.
I don't know. We'll never know.
There's always a Shawn Michaels and a Jannetty. There's always a Bret Hart and an Anvil Neidhart. There's always a Booker T and a Stevie Ray. You know, there's always a Bully Ray and a Devon, a Ron Simmons and a Butch Reed. Although Butch Reed was the guy like before he started in Doom, so I don't want to besmirch the good name of Butch Reed. Um, I almost said Edge and Christian, but I kind of like Christian more than Edge.
That's a good example. There's an Edge of the Christian where both of them
Yeah,
are
but
world champions.
they're not on the same. Jimmy's not on the same level as Christian yet. Now he's got time. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm pulling for him. Like, I don't want Jimmy to end up being the Jannetty where he gets released and Jey just goes on and does his thing. But I just don't want them to go back to being the Usos. Like, they're my favorite tag team of all time. But I don't want them to do that anymore. I want Jey to stay a singles guy.
You don't want to see the Usos versus Motor City?
E.J., I'm going to say this, and I want you to listen to me. I don't give a fuck about the Motor City Machine Guns. They move no part of the needle for me.
You don't say.
No, not at all. Now, you tell me the Usos and the New Day about to fire up another rivalry? I can't get enough of that, you know? Bring back the Hardys, maybe. God, actually make them a credible fucking tag team while they're the tag team champions right now. The Usos versus the Street Profits, I could get behind. But then again, all these tag teams need to be brought up to another level. They don't need the Usos fucking winning all the time. Let these guys get their shine.
Yeah. I feel like the tag team division is scattered all over the place, though. I mean, like you said, this is the time to give other teams a shine, but I need to see it executed. You got the War Raiders back to their old gimmick, added the Motor City. You got the Bloodline tag team. I just need to see a little bit more continuity, you know. You still got the Street Profits there. I don't know. I had to get why they did 2 tag team belts, but I feel like if they would have did the unification the right way, they could have made that work. Instead, they had 2 separate belts and it was all weird. They could have just conjoined them, made one belt, build up contenders like that. Because they just got the same tag teams going against each other week in and week out. It's got like what 4 in each brand basically, if that. So, but then you get it. Then again, on the other side of the road, AEW, you got all those tag teams, and theirs just feels discombobulated too. I guess because the Bucks are doing what the fuck the Bucks are doing. I don't know.
Before we move on, the whole topic of this was Bron Breakker becomes 2-time Intercontinental Champion. How do you feel about Bron, and do you think it hurt him at all, the fact that it took 5 guys to beat Jey Uso?
No, not at all. Bron is like almost like a tweener at this point. I mean, he's almost presenting himself as a heel, but you got people doing his bark and whatnot, and I don't think that hurt him. Like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you needed the bloodline." They're just gonna see him as Intercontinental Champion, his second reign. So yeah, I don't think it hurt him.
All right, EJ. Well, it's time for some predictions. We got Bound for Glory coming up this weekend, and we got Halloween Havoc next Tuesday night. Whichever one you want to get to first. Do you have the cards pulled up for these?
I do, and Bound for Glory is on a Saturday, which is always a good thing, and Halloween Havoc is on a Sunday. NXT likes running it on Sundays for some reason, even if they don't have a WWE event that weekend. So I don't know. I think that maybe they got that like kind of partnership with TNA. Maybe they did that on purpose. But yes, we'll go chronologically. with Bound for Glory. Are you going to be able to watch? Maybe not live, I guess. I'm going to have to watch later.
It's Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be able to watch live. I'll be in the Discord for it.
All right.
Girlfriend will be out of town, and I'll have my kids, and by that time they'll be fucking ready to play video games and not be dealing with me. So,
well, let's get into it. On the pre-show, they have this as a Call Your Shot Gauntlet, intergender. So TNA is the only company really that's doing intergender still. They don't have the people in it. It says the winner receives trophy, contract they can invoke anytime they want to, 1 year, championship match of their choosing. I think they do this pretty much every year here. Who's not on the card that I'm seeing? I can't even think who I want to pick. Moose is on the card already. I see ABC. I think I'm gonna pick somebody from ABC, but they're already on the card. Shit, I might let you go first while I'm thinking.
I'll pick Cardona.
He's on the card, man. He might double back and do this match.
Oh damn! I didn't know he was on the card, motherfucker. I don't know. I feel like trying to predict stuff like this makes no sense if we don't know who's in the fucking match.
Yeah, it could be like a surprise entrance.
Yeah.
I'll go with Dango because I don't see him on the card. Dirty Dango. It makes probably no sense. Oh no. I'll go with Jake something. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's on the card. I'm not looking at the card, so I apologize for the awful audio and video of me not knowing, but I don't know who's in the match. You can't pick it.
I don't see Eric Young on here.
Did they get a title match though?
Well, any champion. It doesn't have to be world. Any championship match they want to choose.
I'm gonna pick somebody from NXT.
Okay.
I don't
Any
know
in particular? Okay.
Just NXT superstar.
There you go. First match, I can't start off with that. I'll go from bottom to top. Josh Alexander and Steve Maclin in a singles match. I go with Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexander also. Like, this is Steve Macklin doesn't do it for me. Like,
Yeah.
for him to be the one to beat Josh Alexander and take the title from him pissed me off.
He was injured though. I thought did he not win didn't he win the vacant one?
No, he beat Alexander.
Oh, I thought he won. I know Alexander was injured, but yeah, Macklin doesn't do it for me. But hey, guess he's getting his time to shine, but yeah, he doesn't do it with me. And they try to present him as like a baby face with the military gimmick, but it doesn't hit. But next match, this should be a slapper. For the X Division Championship, you got your champion Mike Bailey versus El Hijo del Vikingo. I guess he did his obligations with AEW because I hadn't seen him all year there. So I guess he's with sticking with AAA. But I got Mike Bailey defending.
Yeah, same here. I got Mike Bailey, and I don't normally pick people to wrestle barefoot, so just goes to show.
There you have it. Next up, the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. You got Spitfire, Jody Threat, and Danny Luna versus Rosemary.
I like Danny Luna a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Versus Rosemary and Wendy Chu.
Is this going to be the first NXT competitor to get a TNA title?
Nah, I mean, I could see it, but I'm still going with Spitfire. I feel like they just won it back recently.
I'm going with Spitfire also, but do they still have that stipulation where if they lose, they have to split up?
No, I think that was just for when they faced Alicia and Slamovich. Next up, Speaking of Slamovich, you got Jordan Grace, your champion, versus Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Grace out for a while. I'm gonna go with the upset with Slamovich.
Yeah, I was thinking Slamovich also, but every fucking time I pick against Jordan Grace, she just keeps winning. And we just talked about Josh Alexander's historic title run getting ended by Steve Macklin of all people. I like Masha, but I don't think she's the one to end Jordan Grace's reign. But TNA's done, they got a track record of doing shit. I'm going to pick Jordan Grace, but it wouldn't shock me.
Okay. Next up, in a
That's my
three.
favorite women's wrestler anyway.
You said she's not your favorite women's wrestler anyway.
That is my favorite women's wrestler. Y'all know I love me some Jordan
Oh
Grace.
yeah, exactly. She's
Jay Jizzle.
She made her way into Rucker's heart, and I'm all for it.
Fucking ripped my sternum open and jumped in there.
Three-way full metal mayhem match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. You got the system of Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards with Alicia Edwards. Those are the champions versus the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, and ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
They're gonna put it on the Hardys.
Man, I was gonna say me and Rucker probably got different picks. I'm going with the Hardys for the nostalgia pick.
Why else would you bring him in unless you're Tony Khan?
Yeah, exactly.
This fucking guy. I got Matt and Jeff Hardy. Let's have them wrestle singles matches.
Yeah. I don't think ABC is run its course, but I'm curious where they go next. They like 2-3-time tag team champions. It's still over, but I know both of them are probably going to want another singles run soon. So I'm curious to see that.
I think it's time for them to want him to turn on the other one, but I think it's too close to the Rascals doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're kind of like on pause now. But I feel like TNA was probably, honestly, a Bound for Glory match with Bay and Austin would have been really good. But I think because of the Rascals thing, they pulled back on it.
Well, it'll probably still happen soon, but maybe not here. Next up, a match that I don't know. I'm not a big Santana fan, but you got Mike Santana versus Moose. Give me Moose.
I'll take Santana.
I can see Santana winning though. Just Moose to give him a rub. Moose multi-time champion, and they're trying to push Santana, but I just don't see it with him like that.
That boy been in the gym.
Yeah, he's a good helping hand. Sometimes you need those. Next up, this is gonna be, I guess, a car crash. Guy that Ruckus was talking about. You got Matt Cardona versus the champion PCO for the TNA Digital Media Championship. This is for the International Heavyweight Championship as well, and a Monsters Ball match.
Cardona.
I think it'd be fun for Cardona to win, so let me get Cardona as well. And this is probably going to be the main event. I don't know if I like this stipulation, though. This is for the singles match for the TNA World Championship. They got Frankie Kazarian as the special guest referee. Your champion, Nick Nemeth, versus I Believe in Joe Hendry. I don't know about that Kazarian factor, because I was going to pick Joe Hendry because some people think they should have struck even earlier at Slammiversary with Hendry and his popularity. But if you don't do it here, then it's going to be never for Hendry. So I'm going to go with Hendry.
I'll go with Joe Hendry as well. If you don't do it now, that iron might not be hot when you strike it.
Yeah, especially with that kind of gimmick. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to go with Hendry. You know, Nemeth doesn't need a belt. He's already Teflon at this point. And that takes us to the end of Bound for Glory this weekend. And we got another one next day, Halloween Havoc. Hershey,
Is it starting early? I hope it's starting early because the Cowboys play at 8:20.
Oh, that I cannot tell you. I'm going to say no. It's probably going to be, 6 or 7?
Your time.
Yeah, so 7 or 8 your time.
Yeah. I was hoping to be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But
I think, yeah. I think this may be the first time they've gotten out of the performance center for Halloween Havoc. Like this slowly but surely bringing all of these like performance center pay-per-views to like arenas. 'Cause then they just do. I think they just did it with No Mercy. 'Cause I think No Mercy used to be in the performance center
Yeah.
in the past
They're
couple
also
years.
not doing well with ticket sales for NXT, but that's a topic for another day, I guess.
Well, neither is AEW, and they're still running all those
We're not
buildings.
talking about AEW, EJ. We're talking about NXT.
Well, I mean, they're like a weekly show that on a performance center, so eh, not gonna sell tickets out of the gate everywhere. It's a slow burn. But yeah, No Mercy, Hershey, Pennsylvania, the Giant Center, which holds 10,000. So you get 6,000. That's cool.
You ever been to Hershey, PA?
I'm not. Is that where the Hershey's factory is at?
I don't fucking know. I was just
Oh,
wondering if you ever been there. I know WCW used to run there a lot, and I used to always think the same thing you did. Like, I wonder that's where they make the Hershey bars at. But I've never actually looked it up.
I don't know if they do. It sounds like a good place to do it. If they
But
aren't,
then you'd have to think they named the chocolate after the city, or they named the city after the chocolate, or it's just a coincidence.
maybe a coincidence. But yeah, I only been to Pennsylvania once, and that was for WrestleMania. So
I've never been to Pennsylvania because fuck them.
well, there you have it. But Halloween Havoc's gonna be there, and I'm sure they're gonna be announcing matches tonight while we're recording because so far they only have 3 matches on here. They probably rounded off at 5, like always. That seems like the magic number. Maybe
Probably
6,
Lola Vice versus Jada Parker.
probably. But matches so far, you got Roxanne Perez and your girl Cora Jade versus Julia and Stephanie Vaquer.
Wait, you said my girl Cora Jade?
Yeah, I thought you were a big Cora Jade fan.
No, man, it's sky blue. You get them
Same
confused.
thing.
Not all white women look alike, EJ, except for those two. They really do though.
My bad.
um, I got Stephanie and Julia.
Same. Oh, rematch. Spin the wheel. Tables, ladders, and scares match. That gimmick for the NXT North American Championship.
Man, I was hoping it was gonna be a coal miner's glove match like Jake the Snake and Sting back in the day.
I didn't see that. That's funny that you bring that up.
That was
You
the
know,
first ever spin the wheel make the deal match. Was Jake the
oh
Snake and
yeah.
Sting? Yeah, they had a brief little feud back then. I actually think Jake won that match.
Oh really?
Yeah, Sting was trying to get everybody over back then.
Um.
Vader, Rick Rude, Jake the Snake Roberts, Sid Vicious, like all these motherfuckers came into the company just getting wins over Sting.
Yeah. Speaking of WCW, because I'm still on my watching along or whatnot with the nitros and the pay-per-views. How come nobody talks about the botch with Super Brawl '97? Like I was looking up because once I saw it, I was looking on the internet. I'm like, there's no like talk pieces on this because it was like it was like just as almost as bad as Starcade. Like, why is
Super
nobody
Bowl 97 or 98?
97?
What
Piper
happened? What happened with
Piper versus
97?
Hogan.
Oh my god. Piper and Ultimate Warrior coming to WCW was so awful. Like
It was
both of
especially
them.
Warrior, but Piper was over. Like I'm watching Nitro to Nitro, and the fans are going crazy for him, like with the Piper
Yeah,
check.
but then they had to ring the bell. He
Yeah.
was old, he was out of shape, like it just wasn't good.
Either way, the boss I'm talking about, dead center of the ring, he choked Hogan out. The referee saw him choked out dead center in the ring, and after the bell rang and he was about to raise Piper's hand, then Macho Man dragged him underneath the ropes. After the ref already called the bell in the middle of the ring, and then they like try to they overturn the decision after the referee clearly saw Roddy Piper choked out in the middle of the ring, raised his hand, and then he went back and looked, and the body's in another place magically, and then he overturned it. Like
Was it
Nobody
Nick
talks about.
Patrick?
No, it wasn't Nick Patrick. It wasn't
Oh.
Pee Wee Anderson. It wasn't Charles Robinson. It was some random ref that I don't even know the name.
Oh, damn. I don't even know any other WCW refs. You had Randy Anderson, Charles Robinson, Nick Patrick. There was one little, like, fat white ref.
Yeah,
He had, like, a little fat face, pink
yeah.
cheeks. Was that him?
That wasn't him because he was the one that tried to cheat for Pee Wee Anderson when he's trying to get his job back. That's where I'm really at. That one what he's talking about. But yeah, if you have some time, go back and watch that because that was egregious and nobody really talks about that. Because I was trying to look at see if Eric Bischoff had an explanation, but and they just tried to play it off on the next day in Nitro. They didn't show any still shots of it, or all they said was Randy Savage turned on Piper and joined NWO.
Find out fucking Piper choked that motherfucker out for real. And he wasn't supposed to. Macho couldn't get out there in time because Hogan legit passed out.
Yeah, it was bad, but went way off topic. Back to the topic at hand. Yeah, Tony D, champion versus Obafemi. You think they would put the belt right back on Obafemi like that? I feel like he'd be on to world title or NXT title.
He can't lose twice though.
Maybe they stack the cards and cheat for Tony D with his crew. Like,
Maybe.
what?
I got Femi.
I'm gonna go with Tony D. Because I mean, I could see them chasing just the feel good moment just to give Oba back, but I feel like Oba doesn't really go for the NXT title. So maybe they do something wonky with stack the cards against Oba. Yeah, give me Tony D. And then the only other match they got announced so far for the NXT championship, you got Trick Williams, the champion, versus Ethan Page. Make the deal Devil's Playground match. I got Trick.
Boston beating the shit out of New York.
Damn, that quick?
20 points. I got Trick also.
Yep, and that's all that's announced so far. Maybe we'll, once they announce more matches, we'll post it on X.
Yeah.
Our picks for that.
Let's get to the week's power rankings, EJ.
Let's get it. Power rankings.
Coming in number 5, Chris Rucker's power rankings. Lash Legend.
For what?
Big time. She fucking destroyed Piper Niven on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Raw. How they were just in the crowd. I guess they were.
They beat the fuck out of Kabuki Warriors last night too.
Yeah. Shout out to Lash Legend. Is this like a soft roster move to see how they do?
She looks good on the main roster. Honestly, she looks a lot better on the main roster than she does on NXT. I think she's one of those people that are so big and strong that she needs to work with better wrestlers than people that are training to make her look good. That shit she did to Piper Niven, awesome. And she hasn't missed yet since she's been on the main roster. So we'll see what happens when her and Jakara take on the superheroes, Jade and Bianca.
It's kind of a lazy comparison, but I feel like Bianca was way better on the main roster than she was on NXT roster. So
yeah, you're completely right too. Whether it's lazy or not, it's the truth.
Yeah, you have those outliers. Usually it's the reverse, but sometimes people do better on the main roster. So I wouldn't be mad at that. My number 5 are a team that I didn't know that Rucker didn't like that much. I got the Motor City Machine Guns. They worked their way into, I think it's like now they're in the Eliminator match. They moved on to that for the tag team shot. So
I got them. DIY, a dream match.
Yeah, I got them at number 5. My number 4, another tag team. I got the New Day. You know, they also qualified for the tag team shot, and Kofi was trying to go back, and X said, "Fuck all that noise. You saw what happened last time." He didn't let him
You
go
saw
back
what
and
happened
help.
to the last two security guards.
Yeah, exactly. Craig. But yeah, I got the New Days. I mean, I'm guessing they're gonna fall short getting the tag team, and that's when they finally do the breakup. I wouldn't be mad to see it goes the other way and Kofi turning on Xavier for some reason. I think that would be
Yeah,
dope with it.
that's what I wanted to happen months ago when they were doing the King of the Ring qualifiers. Um, I got the New Days number 4. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they won the tag titles.
Really?
Yeah, just throw a wrench in the fucking program. Everybody thinks they're gonna break up and they actually fucking win. But have Woods cheat for them to win and Kofi not know.
That's another way to do it. I mean,
I think I think we talked about this a few months ago. Sting and Luger were tag champs, and Luger just kept cheating without Sting knowing about it. And Sting would get pissed afterwards when he would find out. But they kept fucking coming out with the belt. Luger was hitting motherfuckers in the face with a roll of quarters. He had Colonel Robert Parker helping him all the time.
uh, now this was this before Luger went to WWF or after?
No, this is during Nitro era. This
Really?
was before the NWO stuff.
So how they turn Luger into face? Because when I started watching like Halloween Havoc is your time. That's what I picked up and starting to watch again when I'm doing
He
it.
turned face when the NWO came, and he like
Oh,
was when Sting left. Luger was the guy that like stepped up and was like, and he took the title from Hogan one Nitro. I think it was like August, and then lost it 6 days later. But that fucking crowd pop when Luger won the belt on Nitro was fucking bananas. But Luger was over like crazy during the NWO stuff. Not as much as Sting, but that's probably the most over Luger's ever been. But yeah,
see.
he was a bad guy going into it, and then when Hogan left and turned heel, he had no choice but to like step up because he thought Sting was in the NWO.
Hmm. Yeah, right now I'm in like February of '97, and he's over like Rover with the rack leaning on that finishing move. The finishing move's more over than he is really. People just want to
Man,
see
fucking
him get the
torture rack was my shit.
people in the torture rack. So yeah, shout out to him. Your, your number, so your number, what's your number 3? Or you did your number 3?
Number 3 was Motor City Machine Guns.
Uh, my number 3, and I guess we got to talk about this a little bit. I got Shelton Benjamin, a
Mm.
win over Leo Rush. And last week you were like, you want to see him for just presenting as a badass. You don't want to see the high flying. For the most part, you didn't see that, but he did do that move. You said he didn't want to see him do the LA Knight thing, and he did that.
Yeah,
But for the most part, he was doing power moves. Leo got a little bit more offense, and I think she should have got up. But what was your overall, thoughts on
I
this?
dug it.
There you go.
I thought Shelton was vicious. That fucking German suplex he did to Leo, where Leo landed on his head, and as soon as he got up, Shelton just fucking kicked him in the face. I was like, ooh. That's the shit I'm talking about right there. Um, that I know he didn't stick the landing the way he wanted to. He kind of fell off the apron. But when Leo went to do a suicide dive and he's fucking from the floor jumped up onto the apron and kneed him in the face,
Mm.
that's the type of shit only Shelton Benjamin can do.
That shit sounded like a shotgun going off.
Right. I wish he would have stuck the landing, but I'm just glad he didn't get hurt because he fucking landed on his ass outside. But I liked it, man. I was here for it. I knew he was gonna beat the fuck out of Leo Rush. Like you said, Leo might have got a little bit too much offense in, but I like it. I like this Shelton Benjamin. I'm hoping that they stick with having him be vicious and he just ain't a placeholder until Lashley gets there.
Man, like they always do, though. I think they're rushing it. I think he's gonna lose to Swerve in the match they're having at whatever thing this little special that they're having. I don't even know what they're calling it.
So Swerve can lose and be fine. I think Swerve and Shelton should have a fucking knockdown, drag out match for 15, 20 minutes. And I think Shelton should win. Maybe not fair and square. Maybe MVP pops him upside the head with the cane. Maybe Lashley comes out and distracts him.
Mm-hmm.
However, it should happen. I think Shelton should win this match. If they have plans for Shelton to be an actual player. If he's just going to be another motherfucker, then have Swerve just beat him. Don't give me false hope. Let me know during this match that Shelton's either a player or he's not. That way, my expectations can be tempered.
I mean, but what do you see Shelton's ceiling as, though? If he is a player, they're probably not going to put the world championship because, like you said,
Why not?
I just don't
It's where
see
the best wrestle.
I don't see Shelton them putting the world champ, especially if Lashley's coming. And I got a feeling that Swerve is finally gonna cave in and eventually join them as well. And national champion was that's like been propped up, like Ospreys and the Takeshita. I can see Shelton getting that.
I can see Shelton being the world champion, but I could also see like what you're saying too. I've thought Shelton should have been a world champion 15, 20 years ago. So maybe it's just me wanting what I want. I know there's a lot of people in line to be world champion that are more popular and whatever than him, but as far as like believability, yeah.
He is believable, but he should have had that big gold belt in the SmackDown days. I don't know why they didn't do it. I mean, we know why, Vince, but yeah, he would. I think he would have definitely won that TNA belt. That's why I was like, I wouldn't mind have seen the Hurt Syndicate in TNA. Shelton would have with that TNA belt, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it. You know, I'm glad they're getting paid, and like you said, so far they present him as a badass. So keep that going. My number 2, I have the number 1 contender for your AEW Women's Championship, Anna Jey. Big win on Collision. I mean, I kind of didn't see it coming. I thought, but they do these eliminator matches, the challenger always loses. Like, I don't like how they kind of like just, the on Space Jam where they put the hand on the ball and suck the powers out.
Yeah.
That's what AEW basically did with WWE. I hated when WWE used to do the contenders matches where the champion not putting the belt on the line. And I guess that kind of went away with Vince, and now AEW's doing it. I don't like it. But Anna Jey won, and now she's the number 1 contender.
My number 2, your new Intercontinental Champion. Only reason he's not number 1, because it took 5 of them motherfuckers to beat Jey Uso. And because I'm a little salty. But you know what I really like? I like WWE's doing like these new little touches that I'm enjoying too. Like putting a list up of active multi-time champions like The Miz, and I don't remember who else is on that fucking list, but guys that are active right now that have won the title multiple. I think Kofi was on there, Randy Orton, and Bron Breakker was going for his second title run. So they kind of made a big deal about it before it happened. I did enjoy that. I like Bron Breakker. I think he's like your prototypical pro wrestler, the look of him. And I think he uses his body well. Like he ain't trying to do shit he shouldn't be doing. Like, I'm a badass. I'm just gonna beat the fuck out of you. I'm gonna suplex you everywhere because that's what my dad, my uncle used to do, and they were suplexing me my whole life. So now I'm gonna do the shit to you. He does that little Hurricane Run off the top rope, which I don't like, but Scott Steiner was the inventor of the Frankensteiner, or at least in America. I don't know if it got invented somewhere else. Um, so I like Breaker, but he gets number 2 because number 1 is a wrestler. I'm trying to think of what her catchphrase was. Got a bad attitude with a fat ass. Is that what she called it? What did she say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anna Jey. I've been waiting on this woman to get a push for so long. And there are wrestlers that have come in that are better than her. Sometimes you don't need to be the best wrestler. Sometimes you need to be in the right place at the right time. And Anna Jay's ass is always the right time and place. I mean, I'm sorry. Anna Jay's look is always the right time and the right place. We'll have to edit that out, producer. You hear that? Um, but yeah, her getting the win over Mariah May, it was a good match too. Like, I thought it was way better than it had any business being. I thought it was gonna be so shitty. Like, I was kind of watching it while I was making a Bloody Mary on Sunday morning, fucking making breakfast, and I kept like not being able to get up and walk away from the screen. And then when she won, I was like, wait a minute. Like, did that just happen? Did she just make my power rankings for the first time? That's literally what I said. So, Anna Jay's number one.
Well, I was in reverse. My number one is the new Intercontinental Champion, despite the interference. I have Bron Breakker. That rounds out the power rankings for this week.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, probably unexpected, but I have the guy that's running Rush out of AEW. I got Jon Moxley.
Oh shit, you like the plumber look?
Yeah, he came out all black, black shirt, black pants, black shoes. He just looked like a menace. Looks like somebody you want to run into in a dark alley. So my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week is Jon Moxley.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, no surprise to anybody. Not Liv Morgan. Jada Parker. Came out, did a run-in with Lola Vice versus Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons gets the victory over Lola Vice. But Jada was looking very Miss Parker-ish.
Do your research for
If you don't know that reference, this ain't the podcast for you.
Jada Parker. I don't think it's your first time picking Jada Parker.
Oh no,
won't be the last.
She's a multi-time Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. Her and Liv Morgan are probably neck and neck.
I feel like you picked Lola Vice a good bit too. And Mercedes.
I tell you.
Well,
Let's get to NFL picks, EJ, and we'll get the hell up out of here.
Just like always, no separation for our picks last week. We both went 10-5.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, but when we think, oh, this is going to be the week, it always happens where you get some right and I get some right.
This is going to be the week.
That's what you say every week. I'll say 1 week, it'll happen. Probably not, but, there's always hope. Thursday night game, Vikings at Rams.
Ooh.
Who you got?
Rumor and innuendo would lead you to believe the Vikings are trying to trade with the Rams to get Matthew Stafford for Sam Darnold.
That'd be a good trade.
They're 5-1.
Hey, they traded Goff away and Stafford put him over the top.
No, he didn't.
They won a Super Bowl, didn't they?
Yeah, but Stafford sucked that year. He played good the last 3 minutes of the Super Bowl. He sucked, though. He threw like 20 interceptions that year.
How would they make the playoffs if he sucked? It wasn't all a running game.
The defense. They had Aaron Donald.
I'd have to go back and look at the stats.
Give me the Vikings. The Kingo.
Yeah, I got the Vikings as well. Oof. I guess I was gonna skip this one and come back to it, but I guess because it's my team, I have it on higher on the list. This is like you said, it's a night game in Santa Clara. You got the Cowboys at 49ers. Man, I got
Did Stafford win the Super Bowl his first year there?
Yeah.
17 games he played. He threw 41 touchdowns. It's pretty good. 17 interceptions.
I'll take it in the Super Bowl. I'll take that. I'll take it.
I guess he was all right.
But
He had a 103 quarterback rating.
if you want to put all your faith in Sam Darnold, Vikings fans, have at it. And my team.
Yeah, but ever since then, he's been at 87, 92, and 83. Like,
he's been hurt a lot.
I think Matthew Stafford's very overrated.
I feel like he's rated. Nobody's putting him in like Patrick Mahomes level.
Damn, this is his 15th year?
Yeah, he's been in the league.
Holy shit. He's got 360 touchdowns and 184 interceptions. He's almost got 200 career interceptions. Like, that's a lot.
Brett Favre had a bunch of them in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not saying that Stafford's a Hall of Famer, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with Darnold. This Cowboys game, though. I don't know. The 49ers just coming off a loss, too.
Give me America's team.
I got the 49ers. I hope I'm wrong.
Speaking of America's team, Dak Prescott career stats. 210 touchdowns to only 80 interceptions.
It's good. Well, let's see it. We need that to translate to some postseason wins.
Quarterback rating of 98.3 career-wise. It's pretty high up there.
Yeah, I don't really care about stats. I care about playoff wins. Lombardies. Eagles at Cincinnati.
Give me the Bengals in an upset.
Yeah, I got the Bengals as well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I got the Bengals as well. Ravens at Browns. I got Ravens.
Oh, yeah. That's Baltimore all day.
Yes. Nasty man, the Watson out with the Achilles. Is that one?
You seen the memes of him? They're like, what Watson looks like when he realizes massages are part of physical therapy, and his baby sitting there like this.
Is that probably one of the worst contracts ever? Of course, the Browns would do something like that.
Pretty fucking bad. I was talking to Eric Brown from Doing the Favor. He's a big Browns fan. And I was like, can't y'all get out of that contract this year? And he's like, fuck no. He's like, we're fucking stuck with him. And I've been telling him all year, like, man, y'all need to play Jameis. Like, especially when they had Amari Cooper, now that he's gone. But, like, I thought they should have played Jameis a couple weeks ago. And our boy Jason Brown, speaking of the Browns, he's been all over Twitter with Jameis Winston stuff. This is his time now. Jason Brown about to shine on Twitter. He's been waiting on Jameis to get a fucking opportunity for years.
He won't let it go. Hey, hopefully Jameis go out there and sling the ball some. But yeah, I mean, that's what they get though. Paying that man with all those allegations that much money, that's what you get. I'm not sad for you Brown fans. Suffer.
Man, between Hutchinson versus the Cowboys, Godwin the other night, and then Deshaun Watson, like, there's been some nasty injuries in the NFL. That shit with Watson, man, you could see his fucking tendon snap and like roll up the back of his calf.
I gotta watch that one. I gotta watch the Godwin one. I saw the Hutchinson one.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Did he really just fumble? And then when they showed the replay, for some reason, I just happened to be looking at his fucking back foot, and you see it like pop, and then you see it roll up his calf, and then he takes another step, and his calf is like, the muscle's just free back there because there's nothing holding it, and it's just fucking flopping around. I'm like, oh, that looks so painful. Like, how do they go up in there and get the tendon and like reconnect it with a robot, maybe?
Nasty work, technology, modern medicine. They figure it out.
That shit looks so painful, man.
It's gonna be a long road to recovery though. So.
Yeah.
Next up, Titans at Lions. I got the Lions.
Yeah, I got the Lions also. I think the Lions might be the best team in the NFL right now.
Might be right. Cardinals at Dolphins.
Oh, give me Kyler Murray.
Man, because I was say Miami is the favorite in this one, but I got the Cardinals.
Tua's back, right?
I don't know. I don't think it'll matter anyway.
Throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. I say you're right on that. Jets at Patriots, a shit bowl.
Give me the Patriots.
I got the Jets on this one.
I want to see a complete meltdown in New York. I want to see that whole city turn on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm not a Rodgers fan.
He's a shithead, this guy.
This one might be hard to pick with all these injuries now. Dirty Birds Falcons at Tampa Bay.
Oh, it's Atlanta. Atlanta's going to win this.
I got Atlanta too, but that sucks for Bucks. What's the word on Mike Evans? I know Godwin's
Hamstring
done.
injury.
I guess he's week to week.
Yeah. Huh. Godwin's done for the year.
Yeah, of course. He's done. Packers at Jacksonville. I got the Packers.
Man, and Packers has some cold ass uniforms on this week. Did you see that?
Those,
They're all white.
All white, the white helmets.
That shit was nice. And I fucking hate the Packers. God damn it. I hate talking good about them, but yeah, I got the Packers also. Honestly, Packers might be the second best team in the NFL, or the NFC at least.
Yeah, we both picked the Texans last week, and that did not happen. So, but speaking of the Texans, Colts at Texans, I think the Texans bounce back, and that's who I got. Who you got?
I picked the Packers.
No, I moved. I said, speaking of the Texans, Colts at Texans, and I got.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Colts. My bad. I got the Texans. It's a get right game for the Texans.
Saints at LA Chargers. That is.
I hope the Saints go 2-15
because of the Cowboys game.
Yeah,
I got the Chargers.
Justin Herbert sucks, by the way. Everybody want to talk about Dak. Justin Herbert, absolute trash. This fucking guy.
Well, look where he's at. I mean, his draft stock dropped because he's supposed to be the number one pick in his draft, but then he dropped, but then when I guess he had a decent rookie season, and like, see, we told y'all he was good, but I feel like he just gets away with kind of just being mediocre just because of the market he's in. Like
he's like a poor man's Josh Allen.
Yeah, like he's in LA. They just got their football teams back, and the Rams are the ones that get the more attention. And he's just, over there just skating by with no criticism. I guess that's the life.
Who are the Chargers playing again?
Saints at Chargers.
Yeah, I got the Chargers.
Ooh, this is interesting. Bills at Seahawks. Seahawks in this one.
God damn, we're just picking all the same teams. I got the Seahawks also.
Panthers at Denver in that elevation.
Going back to the Seahawks real quick, Kenneth Walker, he might be the best running back in NFL in like the next 1 to 2 years.
I have him on my fantasy team, so
yeah, he is so fucking good, man. I didn't realize he was so small, but this little motherfucker is elusive. He's powerful. He's fast. If Derrick Henry would ever retire, he could probably. And Saquon Barkley's got a resurgence also, but yeah, Kenneth Walker, he might be the best running back in football in the next couple of years.
Ooh, yeah, I'm betting you was looking at those stats because he's probably the reason why I just beat you in our fantasy league. I know it was close. I'm like, I didn't even want to look at it, but yeah, Kenneth Walker. I'm not even doing that well in this fantasy league. Whatever.
I've lost I've lost 3 games in 3 different leagues by less than 1 point, and then I just lost to you by what, like less than 4?
Yeah, like 5 points.
Yeah, I was beating you when I went to sleep last night. But I knew when I woke up this morning it wasn't gonna last because they wouldn't throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. All I needed him to do was get like 3 or 4 catches to kind of pad the stats, and he didn't. And whoever you had playing last night took the lead. I think it was, I don't remember who you had, but yeah.
I don't have Walker in this league, actually. It's the other league that I have him in, but whatever. I had Herbert as my quarterback. That's gross. He's getting
That's what
benched.
it was. It was Herbert that got you points last night.
He's getting benched. I'm putting Dak in. But I digress. Panthers and Broncos.
Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I got the Broncos as well. You got the Chiefs going to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Give me the undefeated streak to keep going. I got the Chiefs.
I have an NFL upset with the Raiders beating the Chiefs.
Hey, glad you picked the Raiders. Yeah, you've been picking against this second week in a row. You picked against the Chiefs. Let's see how that works out this week. Bears at Commanders. What is the status of Jalen Daniel?
He's week to week with a rib injury. But I'm picking the Bears in an upset, whether he plays or not.
Man, I don't think he plays, so I gotta go with the Bears as well. Unfortunate. Giants at Steelers. Who's this? Who's the Steelers quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
They
Let Russ cook.
they put
Mr. Unlimited.
they put some numbers up. I gotta go back and watch the highlights. See how he looked up there. I got Steelers.
Yeah, I got the Steelers also.
And that is the last game of the week. So are the bye weeks over already? Because it's all teams are playing this week.
They can't be over already because it's 17 games.
It's only weeks 8, and there's no buys this week. Maybe some buys in upcoming weeks.
Yeah. I know the London games are over. I think they're going to like Germany or some shit like that now.
Ugh. That's got to be a pain for the players to travel all the way to Germany. London, if you're like an East Coast team, kind of right over the pond, but Germany, man, like, that's gross. Taking a home game away from one team.
Mexico City, I think, has a game or 2.
That's not bad. Mexico City. But Germany, I get why they're doing it. They want to expand, but
Well, good show tonight, EJ. You got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Make sure to follow on social media, YouTube, all that good stuff, and continue to fight the good fight out there.
I'll give some personal shout outs. I want to get back to doing that to people that interact with us or that listen to the show and comment on Twitter. Damian Cruz. I'm sure he's excited. The LA Dodgers are in the World Series now. Hopefully we run into him at WrestleMania. Robert Custis, always live in the Discord and on Instagram. Jeff and Scott over at Fully Posable. Shout out to them for always shouting us out and trying to get our name out there. Brian from the Legendary Wrestling Figure Podcast. I was on his show a couple months ago. Brian's a good dude too. He'll randomly text me like, I can't remember the last text he sent me. It was about something we were talking about. Oh, it's about electric smokers. He's texting me about that. Our boy GBM, good brother Mike, or as I like to call him, getting bitches, man. He sent me the Sting, basically AEW's Ultimate Edition figure that I couldn't find in store. And then Little Admire.
Devin.
Devin Admire, congrats on the wedding. He came out to Roman Reigns' entrance during his wedding. I know it was 6-7 months ago, but still. And then Jimmy Barlow, my girlfriend's sister's husband, listens to Boot to the Face all the time, and he got to see where the magic was made when they came over about a month or so ago. So shout out to everybody. If I missed you, I'll get you next time. But for E.J. Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Until next time, peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.